Scientists have just discovered that there are more places for life to have evolved on Earth. And they are pretty sure that this is true for other planets and moons in the universe. And one of them might be closer than we think. It all started with the discovery of a new species of single-cell microorganism known as a B cell. These are tiny organisms about 30 times smaller than a human cell. They are incredibly simple and exist in every ocean on Earth. And these organisms play a critical role in our ecosystem, as they are the main source of food for many marine animals. Because they are so small, they can get into some places where bigger organisms can't go. Like they can literally get inside rocks. Now it's thanks to this ability that scientists were able to discover an entire ecosystem of these organisms within a rock near deep-sea volcanic vents. This was an environment previously thought to be completely barren of life, because it is located at a place called an abyssal plain, which is a region of the ocean floor where nothing grows. There's no light, there's no food, there's no air, and the pressure is thousands of times higher than at the surface. It's basically the opposite of the Goldilocks zone. But somehow life has not only survived here, it's thrived. In fact, these B cells were found to be thriving. In 1 cubic centimeter of rock, scientists counted over 2 million cells. And even though there are over 1 million times more cells of this organism on Earth than the number of humans, they'd never been noticed before because they were always out of reach until now. It turns out that they literally build their own little ecosystems inside rocks by digging holes. It's a process called bioerosion, where they burrow inside rocks and make room for themselves as well as for algae and bacteria to grow, creating a self-sustaining environment that can survive without any contact from the outside world. And what makes this discovery even more incredible is that thanks to this technology, scientists realize that there are millions of other rocks like this scattered across the ocean floor, meaning that there could be other ecosystems of these organisms that have been shielded from the rest of the world. And since these organisms don't need oxygen, sunlight, or even a carbon-based metabolism, this means that the conditions that allowed them to evolve could also allow other organisms to do the same thing, including in places that we didn't even think were capable of sustaining life. In other words, there are more places in the universe where life may have evolved or could still evolve, which brings us to the moon. You see, while studying this ecosystem of organisms on Earth, scientists wondered if anything similar existed on the moon. And when they searched, they found that it did. The lunar regolith, which is the loose, dusty material covering the moon's surface, also contains similar microorganisms that form their own little communities, sheltered inside the dust. What's really incredible is that these organisms seem to have arrived on the moon via meteorites that fell from Earth, yet they still survive in the harsh environment of space. Not only that, but according to this study, there is a good chance that there are already impacts that have delivered soil from Earth to the moon. So life has likely been transferred between these two worlds multiple times. This shows us that the existence of life is not restricted to the Goldilocks zone or to planets that have an atmosphere like Earth. If organisms on Earth can survive on the moon, then the reverse should also be true. So given the fact that both the moon and Mars have been hit by billions of meteorites from Earth, it's possible that life from both planets has also migrated into each other's worlds. This is something that scientists have considered for years, but this new discovery provides much stronger evidence for it. And if that's the case, then there's a very good chance that life may exist elsewhere in the universe, especially if we consider that there are billions of exoplanets that are potentially habitable. But wait, there's more. According to researchers, these organisms can also help us search for extraterrestrial life because they produce methane and ammonia, 2 gases that can be detected from far away. So by looking for these gases around other planets, we could potentially find other planets that also host similar life forms. And it's not just the moon. Researchers believe that this could be true for any planet with a rocky surface, which includes Mars. And it turns out that we might already have evidence of this. Methane has already been detected on Mars by several missions, which could mean that there are similar organisms living on the red planet. Scientists say that the next step is to look for ammonia. And if we find it, then we will know for sure that there are microorganisms on Mars. The thing is, NASA's Curiosity rover has already found organic molecules on Mars, which are the building blocks of life as we know it. But the problem is that nobody knows if these molecules got there through geological processes or if they came from living things. Now, if NASA finds ammonia, then it will become much more likely that life is the cause behind these organic molecules. So it looks like we are getting ever closer to answering the question, are we alone? And the answer may surprise us. Just imagine if we found life on the moon or on Mars. That would be incredible news. But you know what else would be incredible? Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss any new content. And as always, if you want to support the channel, you can head over to our support page. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.